Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. As always, shout out to the 19 folks. We got a little clip here. Kelsey Mitchell talking about Caitlin Clark fans, which is interesting on a few levels that I want to get into. For starters, for starters, I was going to say first of all, after months, I mean, it really even started during the season of hearing that no one would ever want to play with Caitlin Clark because of her fans. They're just awful, awful people. Kelsey Mitchell, one of the top free agents this offseason, one of the top shooting guards in the WNBA, has decided to stay in Indiana. She decided to stay in Indiana. And, there are people all out there free Aaliyah, free Kelsey is absolutely wild. And then even there's in such crazy denial that even when Natasha Howard signed and Dewana Bonner signed, they're talking about it. Their reaction is like those players did it without a choice. They need to be freed as well. How could this happen when they, of course, voluntarily went to the Indiana Fever? I mean, at this point, seriously, I just have to ask how many more times does this narrative have to be proven completely wrong about Caitlin Clark fans before people drop this absolute nonsense? Oh, spoiler alert, they will never drop it. They are not going to drop this stuff. They're clinging to it. It is all they have. It's all their little brains can process and handle, and they will not let it go. But look, Kelsey Mitchell could have gone anywhere. Like I said, absolutely anywhere. He chose to stay with the Fever and go through the whole circus again and play alongside Caitlin Clark. She knows what all of that entails. It is not just the pressure of playing for a certain fan base for a team, which is what you get in other sports, like let's say Philly or Dallas specifically at quarterback, right? She knows it's that plus all the other nonsense. But look, this idea that people aren't gonna wanna play in India, it's done. I mean, I don't know how much clearer it can be at this point. This "nobody wants to play with her" argument is like Blockbuster in 2010. It's dead. Let it go. Let it go. But I wanna play a clip for you that I wanna talk about a little more. So we're gonna do that right here with Kelsey Mitchell talking about the Indiana Fever fans.
I think that experiencing it, I love Caitlin Clark fans, but Caitlin Clark fans are different. They like C Square, shout out to the gang. Like
Different.
they are very passionate people, and like they gonna ride or die. Like
Listen, Caitlin Clark
and
is
I'm
a
happy
god
on
to
the
her
right.
friends. She does no wrong. Do
I
not
love
play.
C-Square
Do
fans.
not play with her fans.
Let's just say C Square. I'm happy. I'm on the right end of it.
We on the right end of the
Oh,
stick,
man,
baby, because
I
they
hate to be.
listen.
Oh, man, because I just
they love us right now. But
I
if we
hope
go
they
right
always
left,
love
it's over for us.
Caitlin Clark fans, I love you back. I promise. Please don't. Jeez.
Yeah,
Like her fan, but like the one thing I would say about Caitlin Clark fans that I can't appreciate, they'll go anywhere she go. And
Oh,
They gonna travel.
She
boy.
gonna go to
They
the
gonna
desert?
travel.
and
Right there.
right
I
there
just
with
think
her.
like it's super dope though because it's like they would literally go anywhere she go, and so she's built that kind of platform. I'm like, damn, that's lit.
It's an awesome little clip from Kelsey Mitchell. I have to say, it really, really is. Talking about how they'll follow her anywhere, the platform that she's built. And guess what? She re-signed. So she's looking forward to playing in front of them again. And it's not just Kelsey, folks, right? It's not just Kelsey. Other players. It's not just Mitchell staying. The Fever signed Dewana Bonner, who chose to come here. Natasha Howard, who chose to come here. Sydney Colson, who chose to come here. I guess I should say there. Rob's not part of the Indiana Fever, but you get my point. That's how we talk. That's how real sports fans talk. And Sophie Cunningham, who, while getting here in a trade, had said in an interview during the season that she would love to play with Caitlin Clark someday. And that day is today. So, I mean, yeah, it really sounds like players are are avoiding the fever. They don't want to go play for that Caitlin Clark fandom, folks. Yeah, they're avoiding the fever the same way kids avoid free candy on Halloween. Clearly, players do want to play in Indiana. They do want the opportunity to play for that type of passionate fan base that Caitlin Clark brings. They absolutely want to do that. And the WNBA needs to stop this nonsense and they need to embrace it. They got to stop fighting it because one of the things that I think was interesting that I want to mention that I think is really important as well.
I think that experiencing it, I love Caitlin Clark fans, but Caitlin Clark fans are different. They like C Square, shout out to the gang, like
Different.
they are very passionate people and like they gonna ride or die. Like
Listen, Caitlin Clark
and
is
I'm
a
happy
god
on
to
the
her
right.
friends. She does no wrong. Do
I
not
love
play.
C-Square
Do
fans.
not play with her fans.
Just to say C Square, I'm happy I'm on the right end of it.
We on the right end of the
Oh,
stick, baby,
man,
because
I
they
hate to be.
Listen,
man, because I just
they love us right now. But
I
if we
hope
go
they
right
always
left,
love
it's over for us.
Caitlin Clark fans, I love you back. I promise. Please stop.
The reason I wanted to play that again, I think, is really important, and the WNBA doesn't get it, and the WNBA old fans don't get it, is because they've never had it. Is and this is what's so weird with the WNBA right now, just in general, is because all of this is about a single player. And of course, there are players in leagues that have been more popular and transcend teams and all that. But what's really wild is what Kelsey Mitchell's talking about and what Erica Wheeler's talking about is normal for fans in other sports for their teams. Like what they're saying about Caitlin Clark is actually normal fandom, but it happens for teams in other sports. That's what's so weird. And the WNBA needs to embrace what Caitlin Clark's brought and transfer that, work on transferring that to making these new fans of teams. And you can be, of course, you can be fans of players on the teams, obviously, but in the WNBA instance, what's so wild is if Caitlin Clark left Indiana, let's say she was a free agent this year and boom, she leaves and goes elsewhere. Her fans are following. Now, will the Fever still have some of them? Maybe they might. I think some players on the Fever have gotten new fans, but a lot of them will leave. Whereas in the other sports, NBA, NFL, baseball, they are those fans that they're talking about being about the ride or die and how passionate they apply that to leagues. Look again, look at I got to make the example because it's me. Look at Philly. Philly, specifically the Eagles, are the best traveling fan base in the NFL. And everyone knows it. You may not like it, but everyone acknowledges that. Even the sports media that hates Philly, they do that for their team, right? They have that same passion, that same ride or die, that same follow for the team. And all teams have it to, you know, lesser degrees, but it's for the team. And you might players come and go all the time, and you might have players that you love that then leave your team, and maybe you keep an eye on them, and you have players that you hated that now come to your team, and now you love them, and that's sort of how it works. And the WNBA has to figure out instead of turning off Caitlin Clark fans and attacking them, understand that that is normal fandom and the WNBA needs to figure out how to use that opportunity to start getting those types of fans for the teams in their league. Because the league has spent her entire first season and now this first off season acting like Caitlin Clark's fans are some kind of problem. And what the reality is, it's a massive opportunity for the league, and those fans are normal. It's just they're applied to in women's basketball right now. They're applied to a player instead of a team. But it's like complaining that your favorite band, maybe your favorite band brings in a new guitarist, and that new guitarist has a whole bunch of fans that follow him, and all of a sudden you've got a million new listeners, a million new fans, a million new people buying your albums. I mean, don't you want more of that, right? You want more people to like the thing that you like? It's absolutely wild how the WNBA has treated this. Fans came for Caitlyn, by the way, to the Fever, and they also just to give you an idea, it's small, but it is a start. They've fallen in love with a bunch of her teammates. Caitlin Clark fans love Aaliyah Boston. They love Lexi Hall. They love Kelsey Mitchell. I mean, I'm sure that's part of the reason Kelsey's coming back. I know it was rough at the beginning, and again, normal fandom. You've got play, you have expectations, you have players that don't produce. The fans are going to let them hear it. Philly, Do you think right now Saquon Barkley would be getting the love he gets if he had come into Philly, signed that contract, and then ran for 400 yards and, fumbled 7 times when they didn't make the playoffs? No. I mean, that's normal. That's what's so wild. It's absolutely normal. But look, anyway, I think the Fever are starting to build something special. I think Kelsey Mitchell staying is proof in Indiana's becoming the place to be in the WNBA. I think bringing in Dewana Bonner and Natasha Howard is kind of saying, hey, that narrative that's been out there that these fans are so horrible and they're this ist and this ism and that phobe, it's simply untrue. And these players, and not all, but obviously some players, they know that that is untrue and they recognize what's going on and they want to be a part of it. And if the league wants long-term success, they need to stop fighting Caitlin Clark's impact and start embracing it. It's simply not that complicated. Just do what Kelsey did. Appreciate the fans. Enjoy the ride. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Do you think the NBA is finally going to embrace Clark's fans this season, or are they going to keep resisting? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Appreciate you checking this out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help out tremendously. I really do appreciate it. Every single one of you that tune in, and I will talk to you later.